Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David. You know what? We have a great time talking about how the financial markets actually work, the do's and the don'ts of the markets, and how to make smarter and better investing decisions. If you happen to miss that investing class that I gave away tickets to right here in Bloomington or online, you can just text the word invest to the number 484848. When you do that, you're going to get a text back right away, but you have to click the link in there. It's our otamin.com. That's OTAMINN.com link, and then go straight to our website. That's where you're going to pick a date for this investing class right here in Bloomington or online. In that text is also a preview of your upcoming workshop so you know what to expect when you come in. And Al, expectations are what people need in the financial markets. And unfortunately, people are being taught to do the wrong thing. So they're expecting something and it's not really happening. And partially that happens because the media and the public and internet and everything tells people to just go buy stocks. Buy stocks and you're going to do very well is what they say. Well, that's not right for everybody because for one reason, they're very expensive right now. Markets at all-time highs. It requires the most amount of capital. And in my opinion, they're dogs. They move slow, except for Tesla. That moves pretty fast. So what do you need? You need an alternative to use the markets for income potential. So let's do this. Let's talk about some of those different alternatives that you're seeing a lot of people come to the academy to learn about that have different perks, different benefits, and then talk about some of the pitfalls as well. So what are those assets first, and then we'll get into the perks.
Well, first of all, let me get back to what I was saying before about going into a doctor's office and getting a prognosis before you get a treatment. The same thing is true in the financial markets. You can't figure out how to invest your money until you know what you're investing for. And for a lot of people, it's different. People are unique, and that's one of the things that we really concentrate on and I think excel at is being able to really adapt our education and our teaching to the uniqueness of each individual. You know, and some people learn at different rates too. Some people need different things, but I can guarantee you at some point in time, everybody is going to need some help, some clarity, some mentoring. That's one of the things that we do. But let's talk about the different assets. Most people are really put into one asset class, and that's the stock market. It could be mutual funds, maybe some exchange-traded funds, but stocks. And those are great for long-term wealth buildup. But for a lot of people, that's not all they need. Everybody needs that at some point in time, but everybody also needs to concentrate on something short-term. Short-term investing is different than long-term investing. Short-term trading really is what we're calling it,
And it's
compared
that's
to
not day
long-term
trading, though,
investing.
is
It's
it?
not day trading unless that's what you want to do. I mean, you adapt the style that you want to how you trade and what you trade.
Yep.
If you're looking for something short-term, maybe it's maybe it's daily for some, maybe weekly, maybe monthly, but it has to be something that you can complete a trade on or investment on in that short period of time to be able to access that cash if you're looking for something short term.
It's basically opening your positions and then closing them, not just buying and holding.
Well, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And most people are conditioned to look at buy and hold as the panacea. But one thing that I think it's interesting to note is that we always talk about this, Josh, that it's not how much you make that counts; it's how much you keep that counts. One of the pitfalls or the downfalls of buy and hold is that it really diminishes how much you keep because you're not concentrating on protecting what you have. You're not concentrating on taking profits, and you're also not concentrating on taking advantage of short-term opportunities. With the market the way it is right now, that might be the best thing to do from a protection standpoint is look at something that's more short-term because we are at market peaks. We're at market highs, and we always talk about the importance of buying low and selling high. So anyone who's getting into the market now and putting a long-term position together is buying high. What are the short-term assets you can use? Well, there's the options market. There's the futures market, the foreign exchange market, cryptocurrencies. A lot of people are saying, well, I don't know anything about these. And of course you don't because no one's teaching you. Education has really become a hot topic now politically. In one thing that we know is that you're not getting financial education in the schools. Schools have really fallen down on that part of what should be a normal part of education, because your financial life is pretty important, but you're not getting it. That's what we do. We are a financial education source, and we have centers around the world that people can participate in. But our goal is to teach you about the different assets. What is an asset that might be more appropriate for you? It may be one that you haven't heard of or you know nothing about. But what we find is that probably 90% of our students end up wanting to learn more about something other than the stock market.
Yeah.
Typically, for very short-term trades, it's the futures market. That's a great asset to trade, both from a short-term standpoint and also from its diversification, because within the futures family, you can trade the major stock markets, even foreign markets. You can trade commodities. So you're looking at, the soft goods, corn, sugar, soybeans.
Lean hogs.
Lean hogs, Josh's favorite. How about oil? How about gold, silver? What about currencies and interest rates? A number of things there that allow you to put together portfolios that are not necessarily correlated to each other. Some are inversely correlated. But here's the great thing about futures and the foreign exchange market and the options market is it allows you to maximize the value of your investment dollar because they trade with leverage,
Yep.
which means that you don't have to have the full amount of money to control a full investment. In other words, it's sort of like a down payment, like a mortgage on your home. You put a down payment down and you control something that is worth multiples of that down payment.
Yep.
Also, futures and Forex trade 24 hours a day.
True.
So you choose when you want to do it. Again, that fits within what you need, what you have available from a time standpoint. So we want to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's structured around your lifestyle, around what your goals and your uniqueness is.
You're right. So that's why when people are looking at that short-term income potential, it's how to maximize your time using a 24-hour market like the futures or Forex market. I'm guessing a lot of our listeners probably work during the day and want to be able to utilize their evening time to do that. And it's all about building wealth. And when do you do that? How do you do that the most efficiently, which is leveraged assets, utilizing the 24-hour market? And Al was talking, he was talking about, the financial markets it's a huge thing right now. And all these different opportunities with these different things like oil and all these commodities. Well, you don't have to trade all of them. That's the great thing is you choose, and that's what we talk about when we teach in these classes and stuff is which are the right ones to trade and invest with. You don't have to trade every single one. And that way, especially there's a ton of stocks out there, thousands of stocks. How does anybody choose a stock? There's different ways you can choose that, and we teach that in our programs, but pick the ones that make the most sense. And that's what we talk about in these investing classes is what might be the best opportunity for you based on your needs, as we talked about in the first section. Where you are, where do you need to go, and how do you get there the best way possible? You have to have a plan for that. To get started in these other leveraged assets, it starts with a little bit of action and learning about these. As my good friend Biggie Smalls said, if you don't know, now you know. And where you know is in these investing classes right here in Bloomington. So call 952-814-4410. We do these classes in Bloomington, but also online. Online, it's nice and easy. 45 minutes from home. You can do that from your own lazy boy. You can text the word invest to the number 484848. We're going to send you a text back with a link, which is otamin.com. Just pick that link and pick a date. When you get set up for this investing class, you're going to get a financial quick start kit. So if you're somewhat new to the markets, this financial quick start kit has different lessons in there to help you get started right away. So just text the word invest to the number 484848. Now, to gain an edge in the financial markets, it's not just learning some different knowledge, because the trading and investing in the financial markets is actually a skill that you have to build. And one thing that Al was talking about a little bit earlier is Online Trading Academy, the sponsor of the show here today, has mentoring. And it's all about having guidance through the financial markets, because most people are new to the markets, and anything that's new is just not comfortable for a lot of people. So you've really helped people bridge that gap from being uncomfortable too comfortable. And a lot of that is the mentoring. So talk a little bit more about this mentoring that Online Trading Academy provides to their students. And it starts in these investing classes, but how do you help people and guide them with mentoring?
Well, one of the reasons that mentoring is so important is that things will happen that you're not prepared for. It could be a change in the economy. It could be a different way of handling assets. Cryptocurrencies, for example, that people didn't know about those 5 years ago. Nobody was trading them. So if you're going to start doing something that you don't know, it's very much like a lot of the trades. You go through an apprenticeship and all
Oh,
the
yeah.
different steps to
I was
become
a
a master.
local 49er for a long time. You had to
Right.
learn it and you had to be an apprenticeship and learn from a journeyman, same type of concept, right?
Right. And the same thing is true if you want to become a surgeon. You do not just go out and buy some tools and start operating. You have to go through not only education, but you're also being mentored. Nobody starts to do something like performing an open heart surgery or neurosurgery.
Or really any job that you do. I mean, anybody that's listening right now, no matter what profession you have, you had to learn how to do it and they
Yeah.
taught you how to do it.
Yeah, and the way to learn is to actually start doing something, but you need to be able to do that with somebody who can be there to guide you. So if you have issues, or if you just want to have somebody kind of motivate you and give you some encouragement as to what you're doing, that's what we do with that mentoring program. We have student support specialists in our centers that will help people. Once a person becomes a student at the Online Trading Academy, there's a lifetime commitment by the Academy to be there to provide whatever help we can to give you the opportunity to be successful. Nobody can be guaranteed that you're going to succeed at anything, but what we can do is give you the opportunity, give you the tools, the resources, the education, give you the opportunity to have a much better chance of being successful. If things aren't working out, then come in and let us help work with you and see if we can figure out what's going wrong and turn that around. But you have the access to people on an ongoing basis, basically forever, to get that kind of assistance. And I'm not sure that there are any or very many places around that will provide that kind of mentoring or that kind of support for students. But that's a huge thing. The education part, that's just a part of it. That's the beginning. And then there's a number of other things that are important. That mentoring is part of it, but having the tools and the resources to put the odds in your favor. I think you mentioned the word edge before.
Yep.
The big players, the institutions, have an edge, and their primary edge is that they have hundreds of millions or billions of dollars to move the price of something. We don't have that, so we need to have an edge basically based on what they are doing. You mentioned also price coming to you.
Hmm.
The institutions are patient, but how would you like to be able to negotiate the price of something? When you go buy a car, you don't necessarily pay the sticker price, you negotiate it. And what about in the stock market or in the financial markets? What if you think something is worth less than it's actually trading for? You'd be willing to pay less for it. What if you could get paid to wait until the price went down? That's waiting until a price comes to you.
You're right.
The same thing if you're selling. You want to sell something at a higher price. What if you could get paid to wait until the price goes up? Again, waiting until the price comes to you. That's what you can do with options, one of the leveraged assets that we mentioned.
Yeah, I know you cover a lot of that stuff in the investing class. You actually teach a lot of these right here in Bloomington about the options market, how to maximize your capital, the opportunity or potential to get paid to wait. So if you want to buy something and the market will actually give you a premium to do that, that makes a lot more sense than just buying a stock because you don't get paid to do that. So there's different opportunities that you might be just missing out on. So it's all about having the right resources, as Al is talking about, but the right tools. For example, I redid my basement a while back, and I had to get the right tools. I'm not going to be sawing with my hammer and hammering with my saw. You had
That
to have
would
the
be
right.
quite an interesting basement if you
Correct.
did that.
That's why you have to have the right tools, especially in trading and investing. Online Trading Academy has those tools. They have their own proprietary platform. We introduce you to that in this investing class as well. So call 952-814-4410 or just simply text the word invest to the number 484848 for a free investing class right here in Bloomington. I'm going to give away a financial quick start kit, which includes a cryptocurrency foundations course. When you do that, you're going to just get in there, pick a date. But if you don't pick a date, you don't get this investing, the financial quick start kit. Coming up next, let's talk more about retirement, but kind of talk a little bit about income potential during retirement. 952 814 4410. This is Josh and Al. We'll be right back.